Hi guys, it's Kyle here, no Jimmy today, but I bring a special guest and it is Ben. Hello. Met you in the good old place of Elysian War Games.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ben's down here today to take on myself. Jimmy's having a little break, bless him. Little break, resting his little bones. So we are bringing, as you've seen, Black Templars today. Ben is demonstrating the potential and the nastiness of the Black Templars, and I am using the Demons to see if I can squander their efforts. Today we are going to do Scorched Earth. It is 1,750 points. Take an old, pretty straightforward. Not really much else to say really.
Nope.
Let's go to them armies. See you guys there.
Okay, so this is my 1,750 point list. Starting with the HQs, I have my Primaris chaplain, Chaplain Grimastus. He's a Master of Sanctity with the Master Orator. I've paid a 1 CP to give him epitome of piety, which means he's got an innate deny the witch. I've also paid 1 CP to give him the skull of the cacodimus, which causes psychers to perils on doubles and gives them -1 to cast. He's got the Psalm of Remorseless Persecution for bonus mortal wounds and the Litany of Divine Protection to turn my 5-up Feel No Pain against mortals into a 5-up Feel No Pain. Onto my second HQ, I've got a Bare Bones Marshal with a axe and a combi flamer, and I have the big boy, the missile, the Emperor's Champion. He's bare bones as well. Onto my elites, I have a Judiciar, who I have paid 1 CP to give, if you just give me a moment, Oathkeeper, which is a warlord trait which allows him to heroically intervene 6 inches, and he's also carrying Townhouse's Bones, which means he only ever takes maximum 1 damage. I have a unit of 5 bladeguard veterans. The bladeguard have the crux obsidian, which means the sergeant takes -1 damage. I have a unit of 8 vanguard veterans who are WYSIWYG. They've got lightning claws, thunder hammers, storm shields, chainswords, and the sergeant is a twin lightning claw champion of the feast. He's also carrying the Bones of Mordred, so he's got +1 to hit, +1 wound, +1 attack, and mortal wounds on 6s. I also have a unit of 3 flamestorm aggressors. They've got a 2 CP strat to turn their flamers into blast weapons. I also have 2 Redempted Dreadnoughts, one with the missile pod and plasma, and the onslaught Gatling cannon, the other with the heavy onslaught and the flamer. Onto my troops, I have a unit of intercessors with assault bolt rifles, and the sergeant has a power fist and a grenade launcher. I have a bare bones unit of tactical marines, and I have a assault squad, assault intercessors with the holy orb upgrade, which means they, once per game, they can do mortal wounds on 2+ and fight last ability. Rounding off the list, I have 3 eradicators, because I know there's some big bad boys out there and they're going to need some purging. My oath, my Templar vow, is uphold the honour of the Emperor, which gives the units that don't have an invul save a 5-up invuln. They all get mini, feel no pain, and I don't gain the benefits of cover, which won't be a problem against an army that doesn't shoot back. My secondaries are Assassinate, Abhor the Witch, and the Templar specific one, Allow Not the Worship of Unclean Idols, which means I've got to take back objectives that he holds at the start of the turn.
Welcome to the Demons of Slaanesh today. 1,750 points of pure evil. Starting with my warlord, it is the Exalted Keeper of Secrets.
Yeah.
I nearly said Lord of Change. Keeper of Secrets. I have given him the exalted power to give him a 4-up invuln, which I think would be very handy in this game. Going over to my second keeper, I have given it Realm Racer, so it's a bit of a nippy one, and I have given it the Relic Jewel of Excess, which basically gives him a +1 to cast, feeling like he potentially could need it with the anti-psychers over on the other side of the board. Then running off the HQ, I have the Epitome. Good little unit in my opinion, +1 to cast, +1 to deny, and be able to pour out 2 psychic powers would be quite nice indeed. Going over to my troops now, I have 2 20-man Daemonette squads with banners and musician, and then I have a 25-man squad just because of points. Again, banners and musician. Going over to the fast attacks, I have got some seekers, no banners or whatnot, just basic bare bones units, basically just to hold objectives and be a bit of a nuisance in the back of the field. And then going over to possibly my favourite Celeste units, the Fiends, 5-man, and one of them is the upgraded sort of sergeant, if you want to call it that. Hopefully these guys do some decent stuff, anchoring some stuff in combat. Then going over to the heavy support, I have got just a chariot, and then I've got 2 of the exalted versions of them, one obviously right up here and then down here. With demons, there's not really much you upgrade, so they are just what they are. None of this nonsense that these Black Templars have, but hopefully they could do the business nonetheless. Going over to my secondaries, I have gone for Retrieve Octarius data, engaging all fronts, feeling like the speed of me could do some well, and I've gone for assassination as well, because he's got some nice juicy characters to mince down. So that's that. Both armies are done. Let's get into the deployment. And the deployment is set. So the Daemonettes are holding back behind these containers. The chariot is holding objective 3, and then the exalted greater demons are just holding back behind this ruin. How we're going to play it today, guys, is imagine line of sight through. So if you're here and they're shooting there, you can't shoot through. Imagine it's a gigantic box. So, but obviously if you're in there, you're free to get shot. Other side of here, quite a more condensed thing. The Fiends are on there. I burnt 1 CP for density of the war to keep the Seekers off the board to deep strike later down the line. Going over to the Black Templars, and look at all this glorious goodness. All these overlapping bubbles of auras and whatnot. Ben's played it pretty smart to make sure he can maximise these dreadnoughts and whatnot. And he has burnt some CP to get these flamestorm aggressors into strategic reserves. So we'll see what these guys do down the line. Right, so we'll get the dice and we'll see who gets first turn.
So,
good
roll for the first turn.
Yeah, you have the honours. Go for it. Do you want to re-roll that?
I don't know. Is that cocked?
We generally go with that. Right, for free. For free, right. Roll again. For a 4. For a 6. Looks like the demons take first turn. Turn 1 movement for the demons. Command phase, nothing really goes off because it's not a 9th edition book. But I pretty much advance across the board, getting quite an average roll. As you can see, these Daemonettes have bombed up. This exalted chariot is holding objective 2 for the time being. These 20-man squad has gone over to objective 3 for the time. And then that's gone into cover. And then kind of over here, quite a lot has gone on. These have anchored down here for the time being. The exalted warlord has just moved around. This guy has absolutely powered up because it gets +2 to the movement and +1 to the advance and charges. So it's basically rocketed all the way up. It could be a crazy move purely for the fact I don't think I can charge down to this crater. We'll measure up, but I'm pretty certain it's a 13 with that crater, which then doesn't help me. But it's a target that Jimmy, oh nearly, Ben needs to deal with. And on this other side over here, the fiends have advanced 20 inches just behind this chariot here. As we've said, with the terrain, Ben cannot shoot through this unless he's obviously right in front of me. But likewise, I couldn't do the same if I had any shooting. Psychic, we will go into, and I'll go over what psychic powers I'm going to do and what they do, because I didn't do it over the lists. So yeah, I'll have a little read, have a little think, and I'll be back in the psychic phase, guys. Starting with this exalted greater demon. It has the jewel of excess, so it's +1 to cast as well. I'm going to do a cheeky little smite onto, as we've measured, the assault intercessors just out there. And I'm going to do Symphony of Pain onto his Redemptor, which gives him a -1 till my next psychic phase. So we'll start with a smite, needing 4 technically because of the relic. Okay, that's a great start. No, because I'd rather get the -1.
I do have a deny in range.
Okay. Do you want to deny a free? No, I'm messing. And then I'll do Symphony of Pain. I'll reroll that because it's cocked for an 11.
11. Do you get a +1 to that?
Yeah.
Well, it's the only one I've got in range. I do get a +1 to this, so I need a double 6. No.
Well and truly goes off, so that means the Redemptor is -1 a hit for the duration of the psychic to the next psychic. Going over, I will start with the epitome. I will see what charge it needs, and I'll be right back, guys. Looking at the psychic powers that I've given these two psychers, nothing's within range other than obviously the -1, which I've already done. So the epitome has put a 6-up Feel No Pain onto the greater demon, which went off on a 11, I do believe. So quite high rolling from my side, minus the snipe. Shooting, non-eventful. I've got a few little sort of tongue attacks, but I think it's well and truly without range. So I will just measure up this greater demon, seeing if it can get in. I'm fairly sure it can't, and then we'll be right back with the recap if that's not the case. This guy can do it on a double 6. He gets +1 to his charging with his exalted power as well, but the difficult terrain knocks it down, but we've worked it out. I need a 12, so I'm going to go for the assault intercessors, needing a 12. Wab wab wab.
Wasn't to be.
So, turn 1, done for the demons. With all the advancing, I totally forgot to mention I did retrieve Octarius data on these guys down here. So that is that quarter done. Bagging 2 points for engage though, thanks to this guy bombing up to that side. This exalted chariot just out with its arse basically. But 2 points is better than nothing. Put me in a reasonably good place, holding obviously quite a lot on the middle board. Don't get me wrong, he's going to be coming at me like a ton of bricks. But if I can weather the storm, I can probably hit hard back in my second turn. So, let's pass it over to Ben and see what the Black Templars can do.
Okay, turn 1 movement done for the Black Templars. The Redempted Dreadnought has done the Wisdom of the Ancients to give reroll 1s to wound. The chaplain under here used 2 litanies. He succeeded with the Litany of Divine Protection, which means the Vanguard veterans now have a 5-up Feel No Pain, but he failed with the Litany of the Psalm of Remorseless Persecution. Everybody else has moved forward. The Redempted Dreadnought and the Empress Champion and the Vanguard veterans are getting ready for a charge in the charge phase if the Greater Demon survives the oncoming shooting phase. Over here, the Eradicators are in position to fire at the Exalted Seeker Chariot, backed up by the Redempted Dreadnought. And we don't have a psychic phase, being Black Templars, so we'll go straight on to the shooting phase.
Starting off the shooting phase, these eradicators down here are levelling their guns and aiming at the Seeker Chariot. So 6 shots, hitting on 3s.
That one's cocked.
You'll find that on this board. Full house, good start so far.
3s re-rolling 1s.
Yep.
So that's 5 wounds.
Brilliant. So I get 5 up in ones, so I'll get my dice and see what I can do. Looking for 5s.
So.
Okay.
So he's taken 15 damage without me rolling the dice.
I'll just pick it up and move it, shall we? So that's 1 chariot completely disintegrated.
Okay, so the Redemptor is firing his onslaught Gatling cannon into the Demonettes down at the far end on objective 3. 3s, and I believe the heavy onslaught's strength 6, isn't it?
I think so.
So that'll be 2s.
Double check. I don't know if it means you get more shots than it's the same, but you get the more shots. I'm not totally sure.
Redemptor hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s, re-rolling 1s.
Still a very good roll.
Yeah, this should be a full house. So 9 wounds.
Cool. Get my dice and see if I can do better than I did with the chariot. 5's required. Marginally better. So 2, 4, 6 are dead, and 3 survived. Stormbolters finally clinked 1 more Demonette down, so killing 7 in total in that squad. Now we come over to the second Dreadnought. I do believe you're shooting everything into the Exalted Keeper.
Yep.
I'm going to burn 2 CP for Warp Surge, which gives her a 4 up in Vun. I do believe I can't reroll, but I feel like she might need the 4s. I think it's across the board, so whatever you're shooting at, it's still going to be 4 up in Vuns. Okay. Cool. I'll flip over here so we have a bit more space and see what you can do. So we're going first.
Overcharged, Plasma Destructor, Annihilator, Heavy Plasma Gun. 3 shots. Yep.
Yeah, fair enough.
Hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s because of the character behind him. Any 1s remaining, do me a mortal wound. So, 2 hits.
Cool.
Wounding on 3s.
Yep.
1 wound. Minus load.
Wow. Boss is it. Cool.
So then we'll go on to the Gatling cannon. Hit on 4s.
Okay, that psychic power really helped out there.
Wounded on 5s. Yeah. The missile pod, D3 shots. Sorry?
Real quick one, did you roll any 1s then?
On the Gatling cannon in the manor.
Don't you get a reroll aura from your geezer guy?
Yes, I would have done.
Go. Yeah, I think you got 2. So just roll another 2. Because this is when it's going to be wounds.
A wound.
Okay, cool. No, don't matter anyway.
What did I say about forgetting my own rolls?
Don't worry.
So 1 shot from the missile pod.
No. Oh yeah, of course you get to reroll.
Misses.
Yep.
And his Stormbolters, which are in half range.
Yes.
This -1 to hit is and 5.
Yeah.
1 wound.
And this 4 up in Vund really helped me out as well, to be honest with you, because I lost some wounds. Cool. That means it is unscathed for now. I'll let you have a little think and see what you can do next.
So, the Marshal is going to fire his special Black Temper combi flamer into the Great Demon. So his auto bolter, I'm firing both weapons, his auto bolter will be hitting on 3s. Wish he'd got his own reroll.
Yeah.
1 on 5s. No.
Cool.
And then D6 flamer hits. There we go.
Nice.
Again, 1 on 5s. 4 wounds.
Ooh, hello. He leveled up. Looking for falls. Cool.
I got some damage through.
Yay. 1 damage each, I'm assuming. Yeah. Cool. So 2 drop on the Greater Demon. I do believe everything else is just bolters, so we'll do this off camera and we'll come back and see if anything gets through this Greater Demon's skin. No bolters went through, so this is on 14. So, charge phase, what are we doing, Ben?
So, the Redemptor, the Empress Champion, and the Vanguard Veterans are going to go into the Greater Demon. Possibly followed up by the Judiciar if I've got room.
Okay. Yeah, it might be a bit of a crowded one. The Redemptor will get -2 because of difficult terrain.
Yeah.
The Vanguard obviously walk their fly, and Emperor's Champion can just walk straight forward at him. Where are we going first? Vanguard?
We'll start with the Redemptor.
Cool. You get to reroll anyway because of Black Templars.
Evening.
Well and truly.
Bush. Do I want to... Yeah, I'll move him slightly that way just to leave a gap for the Judiciar if I've got it. The Empress Champion is in, because I think we measured an 8. Yep.
Yeah, well and truly. Nice. Just gets underneath his arm. Yeah, just...
Let's turn it that way.
Yeah. And then...
The
what do we
Vanguards need a 7.
Cool. Wow. That's what I needed before. I wish I got... Full house, right, I'll let Ben move them in, give them a little wiggle and see if they can take down this Greater Demon. Oh dear, oh dear. Just to mention, I'm sure some of you guys have probably picked up on this, the lights have got brighter because we've paid the electric bill and now the support lights are in full swing. So apologies for that, but now you should be able to see this glorious, glorious combat. Do you know what she's starting first? So I'm having a little thinky.
Well, the Judiciar is going to use his special hourglass to make you fight last. So if you want to...
I think you charging goes first regardless.
Yeah,
so
you've got fight first ability, haven't you?
But I think it's after charging. I'll reread it.
So fight first. All chargers have the fight first ability. You have a fight first ability, so I would select one, and then you would select the next one.
Right, okay, cool.
So the Judiciar means you don't get to select one, unless you choose to use 2 CP to interrupt.
Yeah. Possibly could do. We'll see.
I'm going to start with the Vanguard Veterans.
Okay, cool. I'll let you get your dice and see what they can do. We are starting off with the Vanguard. The leader is starting off this fight.
Yeah, he's the champion of the feast, so he hits on 2s. He's got a bonus attack, and he's also carrying the Bones of Mordred, which mean any wound rolls of a 6 are a mortal wound in addition. He's got Twin Lightning Claws, which is innately rerolls wound rolls, so I'll be fishing for those 6s.
Cool. Is the mortal wounds capped?
No.
So
the mortal wounds from the litany is capped, not from him.
Okay, nice. That's pretty mental.
So 2s innate -1, so up to 3s.
Yeah, thanks to the aura.
And then 6s to wound. I'll leave that one. So that is 4 mortal wounds and 6 saving throws.
Oh, is it an addition as well?
Yeah.
Wow, that's mental.
I think I'll double check it.
Wow, that's pretty mental. That. Looking for 4s. Oh no, 5s now because it's a different thing. So passing 2, dropping another 4. 1 wound each.
1 wound each.
Cool. So in total, that guy has dealt 8 wounds.
8 damage.
Wow, wowie wow.
If I'd got the litany off, it would have been 12 damage.
That's bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. I forgot to mention the warlord trait has -1 attack built in, so I'm going to let that slide 'cause it's my own fault, but from now on they'll obviously have less attacks. So go on to the rest of the unit and see what they can do now.
Okay, so then we have the standard lightning claws.
Cool.
Hitting on 4s because of the -1 to hit. And then 5s with no mortal wound.
That was a 6. Cool.
So that's 5 more.
Another 4 down.
So 12 damage.
Yep, so he's on 2 left.
So we're going with the chainswords. No. And the thunder hammer.
Yep.
3 wounds. Any fail will kill him.
Pretty much. Nope, you have successfully destroyed the greater demon.
Okay, so I've consolidated onto that objective and fanned out, got a little bit closer to the other greater demon. This Seeker Chariot is under threat, and I've scored 6 points for Abhor the Witch and Assassinate. Greater Demons? Demons of Slanesh, turn 2.
Turn 2 for the demons. Him killing one of the greater demons was a bit of a blow, but it is not all over. Didn't realise how good Black Templars are with all these stupid relics and additions and blah 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 and all this nonsense. But that is what I'm going to face. So what I've done is, as you can see, I have literally bunched all these guys up around this blob of nastiness, basically. The chariot, with some struggle, got into there, looking just to basically tap into his warlord, seeing if I can do anything there. Right over into the far corner, the Seekers have just anchored down from the warp, potentially charging, if not staying there so I can get engaged for this turn. These guys are anchored on 3 still. These have walked up to this objective with a potential charge, rolling high, but still could potentially do it. And right over in this corner, the chariot has walked up there, rode up there, potentially tagging these marines down here as well. It needs to be a pretty solid turn for me, because these Black Templars are going to just gain the lead by smashing me to the ground. So it needs to be a very, very good combat from my side, but we'll see. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I'll do Psychic off camera, and I'll just recap it, because I need a little think about what I'm going to do. So we'll be back in the shooting phase. That's right, shooting phase. Psychic done. Managing to kill 3 of these vanguards with smites and other shenanigans, which was pretty good considering he had a 5-up feel no pain as well. Also from the epitome, I have put the 6-up feel no pain onto the fiends, feeling like they potentially need it down the line. Going on to the shooting, it's just probably the chariot. This one into the warlord. I'll measure up that. I think that might be able to do it as well. We'll do this off camera because it's probably non-eventful, and then we'll get into the all-important charge phase. Managed to get 1 wound off his warlord with the tongues. Clearly he doesn't like licking. So charge phase, quite a lot's going to go. So this is not in order, but I'm going to go for it anyway. The Demonettes are going to charge into the Eradicators, needing a 7. The Seekers are going to go into the Marines at the back, needing a 9 because they deep strike. The Lord of Change is just going to...
The Keeper of Secrets.
Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Keeper of Secrets is going to go into the Vanguard. So are the Demonettes, because obviously the Aura, they can advance and charge. The Fiends are going to go into the Justiciar. This is practically there anyway, but that's going to literally tap into the Warlord. And right over here, the Chariot is going to go into the Marines there. Probably needing a 4 or 5. I'm not too sure, but it's not very long, I know that much.
Needing a 4.
Cool, not a problem at all. Right, so I will start with the Fiends, just basically shutting down him. I'll roll and see what I need. For a 5?
Is not enough. Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, just in.
Yep.
Cool, that's that. What did we say for the top one, sorry?
This one is a 4.
Right, I'll roll that. For a 5, they go in. The Demonettes, probably needing basically anything less than a double 1. For a 7, they go in. The Greater Demon, for a 7, they definitely go in. And then we'll go over to the other side of the board, just because we need to make sure. These needing a 7 into the Eradicators. Getting a 5. I will burn the reroll that. For a 6. No can do. They stay put on that objective. And then the Seekers into the Marines, needing a 9. Getting a 10. So they're in. Right, I'll move everything, and then we'll see what I can do. So the Seekers are in. The Chariot is in. This crazy blob is all in. The Emperor's Champion has heroically intervened into the Demonettes. The Fiends have conga lined round, tapping the Emperor, the Judicia. Obviously, consolidation we will be doing very soon, and then the Chariot just up here is tapping that Marine just there. Cool. Right. We'll work out all the shenanigans, who goes what and where, and we'll be back in the fight phase.
First off, we go with the Greater Demon of Slaanesh, the Keeper of Secrets, into the Vanguard Veterans.
Lot of change.
Wrong
right.
God.
Yeah. So, hitting with the sword first. Hitting on 2s. Dropping 1. Wounding on 2s normally, but due to being Black Templar and all this mini transhuman, it's freeze, but I get to reroll 1s because it's a Greater Demon. Cool.
Full house.
So that is 5 invons.
So that's 3 go through. How much damage is it?
3. Flat 3.
Flat 3. So I'd be needing 2 5-ups per person to save them.
Choices.
Yeah, I'll reroll 1 for CP.
No.
So
down to 6. Cool. Right, so roll.
So the first one, I need 2 5-ups. No, first one dead. Second one is dead. And the third one lives.
Absolutely bosses. So this is the claws now. 4 attacks, hitting on 2s. Always dropping 1. Win on 3s, rerolling 1s. Rerolling 1. 3. Invons.
These are 5-up invons now. Pass them all.
Oh, no way. Yikes. Would you like to interrupt?
I would. The Vanguard Veterans, I think, are going to interrupt and into the Greater Demon in return.
Okay, no problem. Vanguard are going into the Greater Demon, and 1 is going into the Demonettes, knocking hopefully some down, and then reducing my attacks, which is the smart thing to do. I am burning 2 CP for Warp Surge, so he's got 3 up in Vun, thanks to the Exalted ability. But I have the 5-up Feel No Pain due to the shield, so hopefully less damage is going to happen compared to the sister that was slain. Right.
So the one that's going into the Demonettes doesn't suffer the -1 to hit or the -1 attack.
It's an aura. No, you do.
It's an aura. So -1 to hit and -1 attack.
No, -1 to hit doesn't matter. It's just the -1 attack.
Okay. So the 4 attacks into the Demonettes, hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s with rerolls. So 3 wounds. Just need to kill 1.
Yeah, it's a bit of a silly rule, like we said off camera. Like, just 1 dying instantly knocks their thingy. 5-ups. Oh, so close, it's so far. On 7 CP. I can't re-roll anything for the... No. Nah, I'll leave it. I know it's loads of attacks, but I've got other stuff that may need that reroll. So, killing 1, knocking me down to 19. So, very smart play from Mr. Ben. Sergeant time with his nasty combo. See what he can do this time.
6 attacks, hitting on 3s. Mortal.
Fours.
No, he's normally 2s. Because he's the champion of the feast.
Okay, cool.
And then he wounds on 5s, 6s do mortals. So I'm going to leave. Do I fish for 6s?
Good question.
Because you've got a 3-up invuln. I'm going to fish for 6s. No. And the last guy hitting on 4s and 5s. 2 wounds.
2 wounds. Does drop 1, so down to 15 wounds. Like an absolute nugget, and please put in the comments below, these have the instrument and the banner, so they get +1 to the charge. So I did get in after all that. So I moved them in. The Seekers have attacked, killing 2 Marines, and going over there to the other non-event, managing to wound 1 of the Marines up there. So we'll go into this chariot here. I'll get the dice and see if I can take out his warlord with all them nasty blades. Be right back, guys.
Okay, so my chaplain could be in trouble here. Kyle is using flensing impact for exploding 6s to hit.
Yes, so first one's hitting on 2s, exploding 6s. Great. So dropping 1, so hitting on 7 hits. Winning on 4s, and then 6s are AP -4, so you stretch your invuns. Oh, that's really painful.
Oh dear.
Oh my god. Just 1 invuln.
So 1 4 up. Oh.
And then I get my steed's attacks, which is 8 again.
Do these explode?
It's the same profile, so
okay.
Yeah. I'm assuming so. This is no AP though, so it's usually your normal armor saves. Right, which is annoying. So that's 2 more attacks, which goes into them, which I drop that, so 7. 4s I need. Just 4 normal armor saves.
Need this. He takes 1 more wound, which leaves him on 2.
Oh dear.
Right, the Daemonettes have consolidated into the Eradicators. Are the Eradicators going to survive? We'll find out in a moment. Ping! The Eradicators have lost a man, and 1's down to 1 wound.
So it's 13.
No.
Oh yeah.
So the Daemonettes, 6 are going into the Emperor's Champion, and 6 are going into the Vanguard Vets.
Right, we'll start with the Vanguards, because I get an extra 1 because of my big head lady. So, looking for 3s. Rolling, not that great. And then it is 5s, and then 6s are usual spiel. So that's 1 invuln, and then just a normal armor save.
So the normal armor save is there no minus? It's -1, isn't it?
1, yeah.
4 up? No, and then a 5 up for the invuln. Saved it.
Cool.
Oh, the feel no pain? Yeah,
cool.
fine.
What a waste of time that was. And then we'll go straight into it if you want. So this is 12 into the Emperors.
Into the Emperor's Champion. So you're hitting on 4s.
It's about what I expected. And then 5s and 6s.
Yeah.
1 invuln.
So he's got a 4 up invulnerable save.
We lost the wound.
Done a wound.
Woo! Next up, it is the Justiciar into the Fiends due to his magical little lantern. So it's him, and then if anything survives, it's Fiend's back, and then it is Ben's turn to strike back. But we shall see. So 5 attacks, hitting on 2s.
All hit.
It's freeze actually because toughness 4. I thought you were a demoness for some bizarre reason.
Your toughness 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3's to wound, mortal wounds on 6s. Oh, disappointing. 2 wounds.
Cool. So goes through.
That's 4 damage.
And then, so this is the first. Let me just double check how many wounds I have, and then I'll roll to see if I can get any of my 6-up feeling up here. The Judicia managing to kill one of the fiends. The fiends have consolidated into him, and then they are ready to strike. But will he survive? I feel like I keep saying this, and it doesn't work out for me. But I'm saying it anyway. Will he survive? And what do you know? 2 wounds off, are rolling terrible for the hits and the wound rates, but that's what you get when you've got strength 3 and 4 demons. So, Ben's Marines are going to all strike back. We're doing off camera, but we are going to film the Emperor's Champion. This chariot lost 2 wounds in the combat, and this chariot lost 4. The Seekers bossed their armor saves, and the Demonettes lost 3 to the Eradicators, which is pretty mental. So we come over to the Emperor's Champion. He is striking the Demonettes. Does he have 2 profiles?
He does have 2 profiles. I'm going to use the sweeping blow for strength 7, -3 and 2 damage.
Go for it, sir.
Hit on 2s. Good job you're not a character. Wounded on 2s. 3 wounds.
Save 2.
Oh.
Save 2, lost 2, save 1, so 2 are slain. So, that's it for my turn 2. Scoring 13 points, 10 for the primary, and then 3 for engage, due to the Seekers being up there. Yeah, not as great as I wanted. It's okay. End of the day, I managed to clink off some wounds off the main characters, but killing one of the 2 of the characters would have been nice. Mainly the chaplain, who's going to put all these stupid litanies on everything, but that's how it goes. So, let's move on to the Black Templars, turn 2.
Okay, so the command phase. The chaplain did his 2 litanies. He did the Psalm of Remorseless Persecution on the Bladeguard veterans, and he also cast the Litany of Divine Protection, but failed that on a 2+. So he's doing fantastically well so far. The aggressors came in over here. The tactical squad and the Eradicators fell back. The Redempted Dreadnought moved up. The assault intercessors are getting ready for a fight, as is the marshal. These guys just moved in closer, and the Redempted Dreadnought moved around to get his beady little eyes on the mirror.
No!
Okay, so I'm starting off with the flamestorm aggressors. I'm going to use their 2 CP stratagem, Heretic's Pyre. It turns their flamer weapons into blast weapons, and because there's more than 10 of the Demonettes, that's 36 automatic hits.
Gotta love him. Gotta love him. Right, I'll let you get your obscene amount of dice.
One thing we forgot to mention during the command phase is at the end of the last turn, I paid 2 CP for the Vanguard vets so they wouldn't run away. And the Demonettes that are facing the Vanguard vets and the Emperor's Champion lost 1 to morale.
Yeah, so my abysmal rolling actually leveled up when it needed to count. So that was pretty good. So yeah, I'll let you get your dice, and then we'll see how many are going to survive.
36 dice.
Woohoo!
Wounded on 3s.
25 wounds. Not looking good. I'll roll and see what I can do.
25 saving rolls.
55s. Right.
That looks pretty good.
Right, so,
First glance.
Right, so 1 dead, 2 dead, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 dead. Ouchie, ouch. Oh dear. So just off camera we did the heavy bolt pistols into the chariot doing nothing. So now Dreadnought is levelling all his guns and going to try and see if he can claim these Seekers off the board.
Right. Onslaught Gatling Cannon. Hit on 3s. What's your toughness?
3.
3. 2s. 5 wounds. 6 wounds.
6 wounds. That's 3 slain. Youch.
The Heavy Flamer. 3 hits. 3 wounds.
1 more dead.
And then the
Oh
Storm
dear.
Bolters. I might not need to charge him, eh? And the Storm Bolters.
3s.
4 more wounds.
The boss lives with 1 room remaining. All the bolter shots from the pistols from this side have shot, managing to clink just a wound off the fiend from the Judicia. So now going into the Redempted Dreadnought, shooting all its load, I do believe, into this epitome.
Yeah. How many wounds has the epitome got?
It has 8 wounds.
What's it say?
6 up, goes to a 5 up, but doesn't matter, it's got 5 wound bump, so
Okay.
5 wound bump.
So we'll give it the heavy plasma on overcharge. So D6 shots, 2 shots.
Okay.
Hit on 3s. What's your toughness?
5.
Wound on 3s. 1 wound.
5 up. Loves it.
We'll give him the missile pod. 2 shots. 2 hits. 2 wounds.
Roll that, it's cocked. Doesn't love it.
That's 4 damage.
In it D3, or is it
It's 2 damage a pop.
It is 2 damage a pop, so down to 4. Now the mini Gatling cannon into it.
That's, what's your toughness?
5.
So that's 3 wounds.
2 more wounds off, so he's down to 2 wounds.
Storm Bolters. Is he in half range?
Luke.
Yep.
Yep.
Can the Storm Bolters do it?
When you feeling the might. Very good roll.
5s. Ooh. I'm in tactical doctrine, so it is -1.
In runs regardless. So 5, so 3s. 3 rolls. Right. So it would be dead. I'm gonna have to burn a CP. And it's alive.
He lives!
On 1 wound! So the Marshal shot the combi gun into this Seeker, managing to clink 3 wounds, knocking him down a bracket, which is lovely jubbly for the amount of attacks. So charging, go for it. What we're doing?
The Assault Intercessors are charging into these boys. The Aggressors are charging into these Demonettes.
Okie dokie.
The Bladeguard are charging into this Chariot. The Redempted Dreadnought is charging into this Lone Seeker.
Yep.
The Seeker.
Correct.
And the Redemptor is going to charge into these Demonettes.
Brilliant. Sounds good. Obviously, no Overwatch is going to be happening, so do you want to start on this side? So we'll do Redemptor.
Nope, not quite. Oh, yeah, because it'd be slightly less than 4, wouldn't it? So he's just made it.
Yeah, just. You get to reroll anyway.
Yeah, innate reroll.
You damn Black Templar malarkey. These probably can't really fail. For a 6. They go in.
I want the aggressors in. The aggressors need a 9, but they have the reroll.
Yes.
Disappointing. The assault intercessors
getting a 7. No problem. And then it's just your Redemptor to go. And it will be a near enough full house.
And then the Redemptor into the Daemonics.
I'm not totally sure what it needs, but a high number. So a little lucky.
Yeah, he's in with a 7.
Cool. We'll move everything in, and then we'll get on with this very, very crucial fight phase. So, fight phase, all in crucial. So, these blade guards are going into this wounded chariot first, seeing what they can do. So I get Ben to get his dice. We'll see if I can withdraw the hail of strikes. 21 attacks into the chariot now. Hitting on 3s, is that right?
Hitting on 3s, yeah. Bladeguard.
That's a very nice roll.
What's your toughness?
5.
So, wounding on 4s, 6s do a mortal wound. To a maximum of 6 mortal wounds.
Oh, is this litany thing?
Yeah. So it's 3 mortals, and then...
Shall I just roll? I roll 4.
3 mortals and 15 saves.
Yeah, he's even with just 4 there, I am well and truly dead. I don't think it explodes, but that means the exalted chariot is no more.
Okay, so Kyle has decided that he's going to do the Seeker against the Redemptor over here. No, we're just kidding.
I'll do the Demonettes into the Emperor's Champion.
Leave him alone.
I'll see what my attacks I can split, but we'll do that only because this is going to attack next, and obviously over there. But if I can get some attacks off, then happy days for me. 19 attacks in total into the Emperor's
Champion.
So 4 into the Vanguard, and then 19 into them.
And then some into the Redemptor.
Yeah, that's a couple there. Right. Hitting on 3s.
You get -1 to hit him.
Hitting on 4s then. Hits. 5s and 6s. So 2 normal, well, 3 up armor saves, and that's your Inventor.
So 2 3 up armor saves, because he's got a 2+ normally.
Yeah.
Both alright. And then the 4 up Invon. He's cool. They didn't do anything to the Emperor's Champion. They took 1 wound off the Vanguard veterans and scratched the Redemptor's paintwork. Time for something to hit back.
Next up, this Redemptor into this Lone Seeker. Feeling his life.
Who has taken a wound already?
Yes, he has indeed. Go for it.
3s. 2s. 2 wounds. You might live.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
So, the Greater Demon into the Vanguard veterans. How many attacks do they get?
She gets 6 with the sword and then 4 with the snippy claws. So we'll start with swords first.
Could do with a whiff here.
It's on all of them. And then it's normally 2s, but these are mini transhumans stopping them. So 3s to wound. Rerolling the 1s, thank goodness. Okay, so that is 5 invons required.
Squad is wiped.
Next up, the Redemptor into the Demonettes.
3 hits. 3 wounds.
No saves. The chariot went into the Marines. and we will not talk about that. And then the Assault Intercessors got the chance to strike, managing to kill one Fiend and knocking him down to 1 wound. Next up, it's the Fiends into the Justiciar. And then after that, it will be Ben's turn to strike with the rest of the guys. So, we'll say it again. Will he survive? In 3, 2, 1. And he's no more. He has been slain to the Fiends. So he did all the rest of the attacks off camera. This seems to be an ongoing battle, possibly to the very, very end. And then we went over to the Emperor's Champion, slicing down 3 more demonettes. So we'll do the morale off camera, and we'll come back in Ben's turn 2 recap.
So, on the recap, they ran away, fearing the might of the Redempted Dreadnought and the Emperor's Champion. He lost 1 to the failed roll, and then 5 more ran. Over here, these failed as well, so he lost another couple there. It's looking pretty good at the end of this turn. He's going to score 10 on the primary next turn, because I hold this objective. It's going to be a tight one. Can he get into my characters? Can he get engaged on all fronts? Looks likely. Kyle's turn. 3 coming up.
Turn 3 for the Demons, and not much can move or has moved because everything's in combat or on a bit objective. Scoring 10 for the primary due to this cheeky little Redemptor holding this objective down here. So all really I've done is bombed up with the Greater Demon, eyeing up his warlord just down there. Basically to bag 4 victory points. So that's tasty if that goes off. I could potentially smite him, which is a bit of a coward's way out, but then it means I could potentially drop back and charge into the bladeguard or something else. So that is that. We will do psychic and shooting off camera. So the shooting would be just here, because I can shoot in combat. The psychic possibly will be some smites. We shall see. So we'll be back in the charge phase, guys. But wait, I've been informed that he has some nasty shenanigans up his sleeve, so would you like to inform the guys and girls at home?
The chaplain is going to reveal the skull of the cacodimus, which innately, anybody within 12 inches has a -1 to their psychic tests and perils on doubles. Revealing the skull once again grants another -1 to all psychic tests done within 18 inches. So he's on -2. So his test, the peril on a doubles, and the chaplain does have an innate deny due to being
just an absolute boss.
Epitome of piety.
Right, hopefully you got that, because I certainly didn't. But anyway, smite, needing a 5. Goes off on a 6, goes through. Would you like to deny it, sir?
I will deny it. I get a +1 to my test. I've perils on myself.
That's such a shame that there was such a cool little relic thing going on and it didn't happen. So D3 is for 2.
I'm a Black Templar, so I have mortal feel no pain versus mortal wounds. I need a 5 up to save his life. He lives.
1 wound remaining on the geezer, and that was that. So we obviously did a smite with the Greater Demon and a smite with the epitome onto the Emperor's Champion, knocking a wound off. And the second psychic power from the Greater Demon was a -1 to hit on the bladeguard. So potentially, if they go somewhere else, at least it's -1. Over there, he uses his tongues in combat, manages to clink a wound off the Marine, and that is literally it for shooting. Charging, there's literally only going to be 1 charge, and that is the Greater Demon into his Warlord. Warlord for Warlord. Can't obviously fail, so I'll just push him in, and then I will get my dice and see if I can finally finish him off.
Your Greater Demon's going down.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
So, can the 1 wound chaplain survive the onslaught of the Lord of Change? Or is he a bloodthirster? Or a great and clean one? Who knows? Let's find out.
He's in disguise. Right. Sword first. Hitting on 2s. Good start. Wounding on 3s because of your Black Templar nonsense. Bit overkill probably. But
okay.
That is 6 invuns required.
So 6 5-ups. 4-ups even. He's a chaplain. Oh,
not bad.
Good effort. Still. Warlord goes down. Okay, so combat phase. We've got the chariot versus the intercessors, the fiends versus the assault intercessors, and the demonettes into the Empress champion. I don't have anything that can strike first. I don't have any CP, and it's not my shooting phase, so I can't use the orb. What are you going to do first, Kyle?
I'll do fiends first. So they get 4 attacks each. Right. Hitting on 3. Wounding on 4s. So that is your invuln. And they are 4-ups. No, do you get an invuln? Of course you do, because of the thing. So you get 5 up and then 3 4-ups, and then the damage 2, so everyone fail is dead.
And then 3 4-ups. So that's 3 down.
And then I get... Right.
It's okay, Kyle. Keep talking.
I know. I randomly pause then, so I get 3 striking tails. Hitting on 3s. Wounding on 4s. Ooh.
Okay, so now it's the demonettes into the Empress champion. -1 to hit.
Damn him. Did actually help massively. Look at that, man. 5s. One of your invuln.
Oh yeah, 4 up. Takes another wound. And the chariot into the intercessors.
So this is the 5 attacks to start. Hits with them, and then it is forced to wound. 2 at AP -1, so 4-ups.
That's another wound, which does take another one off.
And then I get my steeds. Woo! And then that's 4s. Just 1 normal armor save. Cool. Ben's turn to strike back. Emperor Champion is going first to see if he can cleave the remaining demonettes off the board.
So, he needs 2s. He needs 2s. That's 4 wounds, 4 demonettes. Let's have a raft of failed saves, please.
Hey,
1 lives.
1 lives.
So, we've got 7 attacks from the assault intercessors.
Yeah, see if they can cleave another fiend down.
Wounds on 4s. 4 more wounds, -1.
So 1 is dead and 1 is on 2 wounds. And then finally, it's just the Marines into the chariot on the top quarter there.
The sergeant with the power fist gets 1 hit. Doesn't wound. And the 2 Marines, 4 hits. 2 more wounds.
Yep, 5, so 2. So and loses another wound, slowly but surely clinking off these demons. And I believe that is that. But we will do morale. It's probably just my demonettes. Well, the lone demonette. Intercessors won't do morale, will they?
The intercessors are fine. The assault intercessors can fail on a 6.
Let's have a look.
Oh dear.
And then a 1 or 2 would be lovely, please.
Yeah, Marines. Don't they ignore the 1 or 2?
Yeah, they do. So he's just on a 1.
1.
He's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Cool. Now this is what I need. I need the opposite. I need a 1. And I can bring some back. If not, she's gone. She is gone. So, turn 3, done and dusted. So, quite patchy regards to the fight phase, but some of this is not very eventful, so I apologise for that. But I managed to score 16 for this turn. 2 for engage, and obviously got the 4 for assassinate, killing the warlord, which was a lovely jubbly. So, at least all the litanies aren't going off there. So, yeah, not totally devastating. I mean, from a board point of view, it's totally devastating. This is when Ben's going to really level up and clear some of these objectives. Definitely objective 2 is going to be gone, and probably this one down here. So this is where my lead, quotation marks, is going to slowly slip. Yeah, my Greater Demon is on the board still, and there is plenty of characters still remaining, but we shall see what I can do. So, going over to Ben's turn 3.
Okay, so movement phase done. The bladeguard, I'm moving around to take a bite out of the Keeper of Secrets. The Redemptor has just twitched around slightly to make sure he's still holding that objective, and he can get some shooting off on the mirror and also some shooting off on the Greater Demon. The Emperor's Champion, if the shooting fails, he's going to have a charge at the mirror. They've remained where they are. The Eradicators have moved underneath to have a shot at the big guy. The Redemptor is moving forward to take aim at those. The aggressors moved to within 3 inches of that objective, and they're going to flame the Daemonettes. Should they be successful, I'll score 4 points for allow not the worship of unclean idols. So, onto the shooting phase we go.
Starting off the shooting phase with these bolt pistols into the chariot doing nothing, but Ben has mentioned he is going to be throwing a holy orb. So what does the holy orb do?
The holy orb means the fiends
Yes.
will strike last, and on a 2+ they take D3 mortal wounds.
Oh dear.
It's a one. Still, they strike last. He doesn't take his shooting phase either, so he does also get to shoot his bolt pistol.
Okay, cool.
Which is a miss.
Okay, that was not very eventful. But at least the fiends are stuck waiting to fight last, and then potentially with the Marshal, he could potentially come in and slice them before they get shot to go. So where are we going next?
The Plasma Eradicator, overcharging D6 shots into the Keeper of Secrets.
Cool.
3 shots. Hitting on 3s. Takes 2 mortal wounds.
Please.
And hits for 1. He wounds on a 3. That's a wound.
I am going to burn 2 CP for Warp Surge, which basically means if he's got a 3-up invuln, but I can't re-roll anything, so... It goes up for the whole turn. It's more for the Eradicators, if I'm honest. So, is that 2 damage?
3 damage.
Cool. So that's 3 damage, down the 12 wounds. Not looking good. Next up, the missile pod into the Greater Demon.
2 shots. 1 hit. Wounds on a 4. 4.
Loves it. And then I've been informed that the Mini Gatling and the Storm Bolters are hopefully going to clink off his last wound on this mirror.
So the Onslaught. What's your toughness?
5.
So 4s. So 4 wounds.
And, ooh. What have you got left? The Storm Bolters. I'll burn a CP, so it puts me down to 2. Nope, doesn't. That is Assassination and a Border Witch for Ben. After bagging himself 6 points, we are going over to the Eradicators, doing double tapping into the Greater Demon.
So 2 hits. Wound on 3s. 1 wound. 3-up save.
Nope, goes through.
D6 plus 2. That's about as cocked as you like.
Whee.
The big 8.
Nice. This puts him down to 4 wounds remaining.
So we've got the Marshal firing his combi flamer into the Great Demon. So the bolter, 3 shots hitting on 3s. All hit. Wounding on 5s. 1 wound. Takes him down to 3. The flamer.
Why?
Does 5 hits.
Oh dear.
1 wound.
Saves it, but he's down to 3 wounds remaining.
Bladeguard into the Great Demon.
Hitting on 4s doesn't matter because of the psychic power. 5s.
No wound.
Nothing there.
Then we have over here, we have the Redempted Dreadnought.
Yep.
Into the little guys down the far end.
Okay.
The heavy onslaught Gatling cannon. Hits on 3s. Oh, he's not got his eye in.
Yeah.
Wounding on 2s. 3 wounds.
3 invuns required. And I do not save a single one. 3 more down on the Demonettes.
And he follows up with his Storm Bolters. All hit. All wound.
So another 4. 3 more down. So that is 7 in total so far. Is that it for the Redemptor?
It is. His flamer's not in range.
Okay, cool. Are you going to toast these guys with your...
Yeah, the flamestorm aggressors, 6d6 shots. So that's 10, 21, 24.
Oh, geez.
12.
24 automatic hits into the Demonettes, looking for 2s to wound. Oh no, 3s. So some consolation.
So should be 19.
Let's just roll.
That would be 19.
Okay, so that's that much. I didn't think
14 more saves.
I can do this. I cannot do this. So that is a squad wiped, bagging him some secondaries due to his Black Templars, and also bagging him the objective. Oh dear, oh dear. With shooting done, we did the charge phase off camera because it was very little charging. The Bladeguard have easily walked into the Great Demon and the Marshal into the Fiends. If he could wipe out this Great Demon, which I think is on 4 wounds.
It's on 3 now.
3 wounds. That could be game, set and match for me. But I still have a 4-up field note, 4-up invuln, so we'll see what I can do. We forgot to roll the feel no pains, managing to survive 2 more wounds, so back up to 5, which could be very, very crucial. But we shall see. Alright, I'm going to spin over here so we've got a little bit more room. Right, so...
The Bladeguard, they've all got -1 attack because of your leader. They've all got -1 to hit, but they are within 6 inches of the Marshal now. So I'm hitting on 4s, rerolling 1s.
Brilliant.
Which has come in very handy. So these are on 5s. So that's 5 wounds at 2 damage a pop. So if you fail 3 saves, then we've got him.
And then I get 6 up shrugs. No, so 2 more damage down. He's down to 3 wounds. Next up is my warlord. He is going to obviously strike into the Bladeguard. Ben is burning 1 CP for transhuman, so he's wounding on 4s. So he's going to do all the attacks together, just because the AP, the weapon skill and damage is all exactly the same. Okay, so hit with 4. wounding on 4s now. Get to reroll 1s thanks to his normal stuff. So just 2 invuns, and then that means you're dead if not. Ouchie, ouchie, ouch. So that means bladeguard are well and truly still in the fight. Next up, it is the Marshal with his power axe into the fiends. +2 strength, plus AP 2, and then flat 2 damage on them babies.
It's the Black Templars mastercrafted power axe for the captain. 1 on 3s. 4 wounds, 2 damage a pop.
Save 1, and then I get.
You need to pass one of these or the squad's wiped.
So.
Have you got 3 wounds each or 4?
3. So you did 6 damage in total.
Alright, so I did 2 first.
Yeah.
So roll this guy. So roll 2.
Nope.
He's dead. So you need to make 2 6-ups for the last guy.
Absolutely not. Squad is well and truly wiped.
Okay, so the Marshal took down the fiends. The Intercessor Sergeant with his power fist finally landed a blow, despite the chariot taking down one of his friends. He ripped the rider's head off and crushed it like a bug. It's starting to look pretty bare for the Daemons, and the Marines are taking control. Is he going to fight on, or is he going to disappear back to the warp? We'll find out in a moment. Scored 10 for the primary that turn, 4 for allow not the worship of unclean idols, and 3 each for assassinate and abhor the witch, scoring me 20 points for the turn, giving me a 36 to 34 point lead going into turn 4.
So guys, turn 4 for the Demons, and as you can imagine, we're in a little bit of a pickle. These guys just anchoring on this objective for the time being, and the Greater Demon with 3 wounds remaining is not ideal. So just because it's looking bare, I am going to concede, but we are still going to play out turn 4 and 5 to see how many points Ben gets comparison to me. So what we'll do is we'll do turn 4 and 5 off camera, rack up the points, and we'll be back in the recap. Ba-ba-ba. And that is it. Like we said, we did the last couple of turns off camera, and what a shocker. You wiped me off the board turn 4.
Yeah.
So the final scores, if we did it to the very end, would be 68 to the Black Templars and 39 points to myself. So yeah, pretty comfortable victory really.
Yeah, it was. I scored well in the primary objectives because I managed to start wiping the units out.
Yeah,
but the Black Templar secondary objective I took was difficult to score points on. Although the book in general is extremely strong, the Black Templar specific secondaries aren't. So you might find that people don't use those, although units like the aggressors in Black Templars are particularly strong for the 2CP strap. Who were the other MVPs, would you say?
I don't know. There's just so many good buffs and relics and silly things that just like stop me, like knock me down. The fact that you can reroll charging on dreadnoughts and the fact you can give dreadnought a 5-win run as a combination without really any penalty. Do you know, like, oh, so what? You don't get cover. Right? So
against an army that doesn't shoot back, that's massively strong.
Yeah, I think. you didn't really plan for it to be situational, but it was very beneficial. But then you get to pick them, don't you?
Yeah.
Pre-game anyway.
Once I've seen your army and once we've seen the mission, then I get to choose which one I want.
So you'd be an idiot not to, like, you know, you just literally the negative isn't even a negative when you've got no shooting. So, but yeah, I think there's so much good stuff, and even like you've only really skimmed the surface on some of it. I think especially when they bring out the new the full range, and you're getting like the chapter master and stuff like that, where it's just gonna be mental.
Every army will have Hellbreaks in it.
Yeah,
every one of them. So the same way that Morgan Val turns up for the sisters, every army will have Hellbreaks.
I mean,
there's a prediction.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things, like, even like going a little bit off topic, but with sisters and stuff, like I really want, like, oh no, I don't want to take her, but then you kind of get to the point when you're making a list and you're like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I think you're going to probably get to that point. It's a little shame that Emperor Champion didn't really do what he wanted, but then sometimes it just falls like that, where you end up just getting stuck in certain areas and stuff. Like, for me, looking at my side, obviously bombing up a great demon was always a risk. That's always inevitable. But if it didn't work out for you, then I would have been in your ranks.
At least we got a demonstration of one of the tricks.
Yeah. But for the cost of fucking 200 points or something, Rod was a complete waste of time from my point. At the time I thought it was going to be beneficial, but yeah, it soon turned into not that. My plan initially was to kind of hold back and just be a little bit more of a castle, and you to come at me and I'm scoring the points, being here and there and everywhere, being able to zip around. But when I started to realise how really brutal you could be, I needed to sort of do the damage turn 2, and I just didn't.
Yeah.
I just didn't do enough. I didn't kill anything realistically. I damaged it, just not killed it, and that may swing it a little bit down the line, but realistically, we all sort of by the end of sort of turn 2, start of turn 3, I knew that you're just gonna steamroll me by the sheer amount of stuff you had on the board, really.
Yeah. The kicker as well is if I'd have played a bit smarter, then it could have been. I could have got more of the tricks off, or the 2+ dice rolls. That I had 2 turns where I failed one of them.
Exactly. Yeah.
That could have been a lot worse. So.
But yeah, I think there's not really much I could have really done. I think changing my secondary from retrieve definitely was a bust. So maybe I could change a different secondary. But even if I say maxed it out, I still wouldn't have been really ridiculously close anyway. This army is an 8th edition army, and they do struggle. Like, there's not really much relics. There's not really, like, the buffs are very sort of mediocre comparison to sort of like the Black Templars, where they've got layer on layer on layer on layer. Do you know, I don't have the ability to do 72 shots with flamers or all. But really good game. I really enjoy the Black Templars. I really think they will be a kind of a go-to marine army, I think, unless they get nerfed to high hell. But GW let selling their kits, so they're probably not going to do that right anytime soon. But yeah, really good having you on. I really enjoyed it. I
enjoyed myself.
Gutted that I lost. But that's what you get. New Versa, 9th edition, sparkly new army, and let's face it, it's Marines.
Get ready, Elysium. The Black Templars are coming.
Talking Elysium, please check out our sponsors, Elysium War Games, for discounted goodness. The guys are legends down there, they really are. So just have a little nose on the website. But yeah, if you've watched this far, please subscribe. Why the hell not? It's free after all. But yeah, that's pretty much done and dusted. So we'll see you guys in the next one. See you later.
See you later. Kyle trying to do maths.
Don't look at me! Don't look at me! Right. Like a multiple coloured rainbow. Cool.
And that is my mobile.